I have a question. Can I make a new game genre? Is there a genre that hasn't been invented yet? I think the answer is yes. There's this little idea I've been having for a while. A combo of mini golf with 10-pin bowling. Bowling as a genre for like video games is kinda lame. In the actual game of bowling, obviously there's a lot of fun in trying to maximize the physical skill of moving the bowling ball down the lane and into the pins. But in the video game, that often just translates to pointing an arrow in the correct direction. And when that direction's a straight line, it's not the most interesting, I must admit. So what can we do about it? I think the solution is to combo it with mini golf. In mini golf, you take normal golf and you add loads of fun elements, wacky courses, and it kind of makes a more meaty experience. And it translates really well into video games. So I think what differentiates it from just a mini golf game is you can actually move the pins around, you can split them up. So I could have one group of pins on one side of the map and then the one on the other. And kind of that means you can have different strategies of where you go first and where you go second, and or even like we can have like all the pins fully split up. Some levels we might put them all together in like normal bowling, some we might not. I think it will feel mini golfy, but it will feel like something different. So how do we go about making this game? I think first thing is I'd made an initial prototype ages back of like a bowling thing. So I already have those mechanics like built. Basically I can knock over the pins and move the ball, so I can move it forwards and give it a little spin left and right. So I'm going to take that as my starting point. And then I'm going to try putting together a bunch of levels and just like create fun mechanics as I go. I think that's a good starting point, and we can kind of see how the levels feel and see what we need to make from there. Whoa, I've changed clothes. It's almost like it's me from a different day than the other video recordings of me. During the first week of making this game, we tried using a kind of semi-realistic city pack to start making the map and the levels, and it was looking kind of bad, to be honest. It looked really generic, it didn't look very fun. You can see here in this level, me just putting them together, this city level, it's not great. We actually spent quite a lot of time making some levels though, so we made like 3-4 levels, and we had to scrap it at the end of the first week, which is kind of a shame, but sometimes you've got to go through this process to get where you want to be. Like, you don't know where you're going at the start, and you'll realize something midway through, and it does make the game better, and it's better to make the change. So we decided to go with something more cartoony, and it really does help sell the fun of the game. With the new levels, I want to just start with an easy one, like a straight line. Get you set up, get you a little bit used to the game. So we have a basically almost like it is very much just down the street. And then the next level, I tried to ramp up a bit more quickly. You've got to go around some obstacles and then take a left and boom, you're hitting over all the pins. Then I start to actually come up with some fun ideas for the game. So in the third level, I really wanted to like teach you about going over ramps and jumps. And so I drop you in the deep end. I start putting all these little cars around the place, and you've got to jump between the roofs. This one was kind of hard to design because you jump and then maybe bounce on the roof and then come off to start with, or you'd roll off the other side. So I had to like really carefully place all the barriers and the ramps to get it just right. So it was a challenge, but also wasn't, you know, you had to hit the power, you know, exactly right on the slider to get it bang on for the jumps. One thing we were able to say from the first week was we made some fun little things, like I'd made an explosive barrel and this like pinball bumper, I guess. So one of the levels here is you've got to avoid all these explosive barrels, which will just launch you well off the map if you hit them, or at least launch you somewhere you don't want to be. I mean, I guess there's a small chance that it'll do you good, but I doubt it. Time for a quick interim message. I heard you weren't subscribed. You should probably do something about that. I'm watching you. You better be subscribed by the end of this video, or I'll be after you. Oh, get you. For the final few levels, obviously we wanted to make this kind of silly experience, and we kind of started with that, like with levels that weren't necessarily just obvious mini golf courses, but we really wanted to ramp it up for the last few levels. So we've got stuff like you're jumping over spinning, upside down spinning cars just floating in the air, and there's also one where you play as a street cone and you've got the controls just feel wildly different because you're a completely different shape. And then the final level is you just play in the same city that all the other stages have been in, but this time you're a huge bowling ball and the pins are trying to run away from you. They have their little arms and they're like, "Oh!" And you're like, silly pins. There's nothing you can do here. Now we come to the part of the video where I like to round up how well have we achieved our goals with the game. In this case, there's two things. Did we make a good game? I would like to say yeah, I think we did. If you enjoy mini golf games, you probably will enjoy this one. It's a bit different to those, for sure, but you will enjoy it. The other thing we need to do is, did we successfully create a new subgenre? And I want to say yeah. Again, it really does feel like a different genre to mini golf. At least obviously related subgenre, but it does feel distinct enough to be called a subgenre, I think. Obviously, for it to be a good subgenre, I need you all to now go make a bowling game too, so we have this fully fleshed out genre, and I can say I'm a genius inventor of genres. Now, this is the bit where I tell you to go play the game. And we've got a link to Itch down in the description, it's the first link, and you should 100% go play it. Leave us a comment, leave us a rating, send us $1,000, and that will be perfect. The final thing I need to shout out, because I don't think I've shouted this out before, is we have a Discord server. We got like 40 people in at the moment, but we'd love for it to grow. So think about joining it if you're not already in it. It's a great time, and we're gonna keep trying to do more and more with it, I think, as the time goes on. At the moment, we're just gonna start the next game. We're gonna start letting the people in our Discord decide what we make, and also we want to try and get more feedback from them as we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.